This is Will Forte. You know me from my show that I do called The Last Man on Earth. I play a man who has the entire earth to myself, and I do all kinds of things in it. I make people happy by blowing them up. I'm just kidding. I don't blow up any people. I blow up things, like cars. Occasionally, I try to blow up January Jones, but I don't mean to. I really have never watched this show, but I know that I am in it and that I write it because it takes all my time and I'm a very tired man. But I think that you should listen to independent podcasters because they're creative like me. And you should listen to them and enjoy them instead of the big name podcasters. Go for the indies is what Will Forte is saying. Have a good day.
This show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 853. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway. And I've turned into Charles Kuralt. Some of you may know who that was. He's no longer with us. Here at the last place on earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, today the return of the great Seattle, Washington singer-songwriter Daniel G Harmmann. Plus we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And there might be life forming out there in the universe right now. We find out a story that was recently
Mike's Daily Podcast
announced. So here's something that I can't do anymore, and that's drive with my ex-wife. It seems like such a chore. I picked her up yesterday to get lunch and nothing more. She seems to think that my driving skills are poor. She backseat drivered me and made me slightly glad
Mike's Daily Podcast
that we had ended our marriage. Tell me, is that bad?
Mike's
That I don't want a passenger
Daily
who should not be a passenger
Podcast.
with anyone. If you're a passenger that makes me scared to drive, get the hell out of my car. Get out. You're being as distracting as those texts and cell calls they always tell me to stop doing. And then they give us tickets for. Ha ha ha, yeah, right. That's never happening. Nobody gets tickets for texting or calling on their cell phones or anything. Holding the cell phone up to their head. That's what's illegal here in California. You can have the Bluetooth going. As long as both hands are on the wheel, you're fine. But don't hold the stupid cell phone against your head. I see that all the time. I am against it. People are breaking laws left and right. They're when they're driving with the cell phone against their head, they're like going through red lights and whatnot. All right, enough of my rant. Look who else just walked in. Hello, my Matthews. This is Madame Rootabega. And that's very nice that you still have lunch with your ex-wife. Woo. Yeah, and I'm going to get into a bunch of for this because Aaron Fonseca, who I do a podcast with, he's been through a divorce, and it's all, you cut off all ties with your ex-wife. You don't talk to her. She's a you don't talk to her ever and ever. And there are some divorces where you're still friends. We're amicable and we're nice. We talk about things that, memories. And we have a lot of the same friends, and I'm really good friends with her family, so it just makes sense. Why do you have to be so... Don't you want to try and make things work in this society and not try and make everybody against each other? Isn't that what caused all the problems in the first place in this world? Is that we have so much animosity towards each other, and we should learn to see our similarities instead of our differences. Thank you. Okay, enough of my rant. Look who else just walked in.
Yeah, Mike. This is Valentino the barking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we really enjoy Aaron Fonseca's podcast, Your Nerd Side, at yournerdside.com.
Yeah, that was a plug. Do you know that? Yes, and I'll be on there probably for the next episode. Talking about Doctor Who.
Doctor what?
It's a British show I love, and I go on and on about. But there is interesting news. You guys are Tea Partiers, right? So you're all excited about Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. It's not Rand Cruiser yet, Rand Cruiser, like the disgruntled fiddle player wants, where that you would have Rand Paul running for president and Ted Cruz running for vice president. Right now, they're just both running for president.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. But what we really want is the Chris Christie Day.
Yeah, he's large and in charge. Do you know that? And also on the previous show, Benita tried to jog in her boots, which is great. You know, she's been really keeping in shape lately, and I'm really proud of her. But don't jog in boots. It's not good athletic footwear.
What if you are riding a bull day?
Yeah, it's good to have boots in that case. Welcome to the pointing out something obvious part of our show. And what is this? For the first time, scientists have found something. They published this today in Nature. The first signs of the complex carbon-based molecules that make life possible on Earth in a protoplanetary disk, the region where cosmic building blocks gather to create planets in a brand new star system. The cyanides found are essential to life as we know it. Without them, there would be no proteins. Isn't that strange? That's essential to life when if you take a cyanide pill, you die. The study's author explains, we know when our solar system was very young, it was rich in water and complex organics. We know that from observing comets. Comets have kept the molecules of our solar system's early days locked up tight ever since, which is why scientists are so eager to study them for clues about Earth's formation. These comets show us that certain organic molecules were common in our solar system's pre-planetary days. But this is the first time we've seen evidence of such molecules ready to seed another star system with planets that could support life. Isn't that fascinating? This according to the WashingtonPost.com. The scientists found the molecules using the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array, or ALMA, a radio telescope with some pretty sweet resolution. They spotted the complex organics as much as 15 billion kilometers from the star itself, which they believe is right smack dab in the middle of the system's comet-forming region. That means the organics could get locked away in comets just as the ones in our solar system were, and go out to seed future planets with them, as some believe was the case with Earth. What do you think about all this? Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. I would sure like to know your thoughts. We read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you would like to sponsor the show, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We also have the website, mikesdailypodcast.com, with links to where to listen to this show in iTunes. Go to iTunes, comment on the show, rate the show. If you do that, more people find out about us, and we don't languish in obscurity. Like Will Forte from the hit TV show Last Man on Earth and Saturday Night Live was telling us. He was also in the movie Nebraska. You can also hear us on YouTube, SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podomatic, Mixcloud, Spreaker, Player FM, Ameristream, and you can hear my morning show. I'm on mornings on a Connecticut radio station, but it's heard on the internet. It's called Wolverine Radio. And the link to that, as well as where to hear me on weekends, where I am on a country internet radio station called Country Crossroads Radio. Links to all of that, as well as where to share this show with your friends on Facebook. Like the Facebook page, and when I post a new show, share it with your friends, and more people find out about us. It's a great way to help the show. Also, you can retweet us. I'm on Twitter at Mike Talks. And if you retweet us, more people find out about us that way. We're also on Instagram, Yelp, Tumblr, links to all of that. And if you buy anything on Amazon, go through the Amazon link at mikesdailypodcast.com, and we get a little bit of support from that too. There's also the blog, the Daily Podcast Picture, and all my past interviews there at mikesdailypodcast.com. And speaking of interviews, now my new conversation with the amazing Seattle, Washington singer-songwriter Daniel G Harmmann.
Into an interview.
It's the time for Daniel G Harmmann. Dun, dun, dun. And he's calling now on the Skype, talking to me easy. Bam, bam. He's going to take his whiskers and tie them into a little present that he'll give to all of his fans. It's the time for Daniel G. Harmon. Don't sue me for using the song Zombies.
Did you just write that?
I stole the lyrics from Weird Al Yankovic.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you? I'm looking at the picture of you on Skype. I asked the question, how are you, really quickly, so you couldn't answer. And I see the little kitty sitting on your shoulder.
Oh, yeah, he's my new guy.
Oh, you were made for cats. You just got this. I bet cats are so calm around you.
Their cats were made for me. Yeah, they are and they aren't. I mean, my little guy's kind of a devil, but in the best kitten way possible. He's super chill a lot of the time, but then he goes into nighttime crazies and like destroys my apartment, and guitars fall and art comes off the wall and windows break. But other than that, he's perfect.
He's a poltergeist.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Cat.
Poltercat.
Daniel G. Harmon, you have a new album called White Mountains.
Yay, out tomorrow or whenever. I don't know when this is airing, but
the first part would be today, which is Wednesday when we are chatting.
Yay, so out tomorrow, April 9th.
Yay, April 9th. Wow. And we haven't spoken since, I think, a year ago. You came
11 months, almost. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you came to the house. You met Basil the Boxer.
Yep.
And Kai Alfred Hillig was just here with Pete Jordan.
That's right. And Brian, as usual, the tag along.
Brian was tagging along. And I offended him by saying he was a CrossFit-idiot.
He is not, but he kind of, he looks the part.
Yeah, he's into the cool carbs, or no carbs. It's all protein and stuff. But
yeah, all protein for Brian.
But it was so fun talking to them, and Kai is just crazy. Oh my God, the things he says, and then his songs are so introspective and bizarre and interesting, and he's got this sense of humor that's like, yeah, we're on this tour and we're not promoting it at all. Don't come see us.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And he had the hashtag "It's coming out of me." Does that mean anything to you?
I've not seen that, no.
He said that was a hashtag you two had come up with on your last tour together.
Oh, maybe. I don't remember. But probably.
It's good.
There was a lot of things we came up with, Mike, that a lot of it shouldn't be discussed.
Oh, right.
It's kind of like Fight Club.
The code of the road.
Road code. Yep.
Tell me the story behind this new album, White Mountains, which comes out tomorrow.
Well, I grew up in a small town in Arizona, in the northeast corner of Arizona, in what's called the White Mountains, a really small town, heavily influenced by religion, big Mormon town. I wasn't Mormon, so kind of growing up in that environment where religion and sports dominated everything, and then escaping to Phoenix and then escaping to Seattle again, kind of looking back on that experience and how it affected my life, I guess, and my songwriting. And I kind of wanted to go back there and revisit a lot of those dark corners. And I think I did. And it was something that I wanted to write about for years, and finally just put my head down and got it done. Did it feel good when it was done? No. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I think a lot of it is like, a lot of the songs only I'll know what the secret meanings are, but there's so much more stuff that I think will eventually come out over the years. But yeah, I think that you write a bunch of stuff and then you put out a record and then you look back and you go, oh, but I should have also said this. But I guess that's why we just keep rolling, right? Yeah. You know? Well, and you'll have other albums then to make in the future that you can revisit stuff. Exactly. And I hear a train in the background, so you are in Seattle now, or where are you? Well, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm at my apartment in Seattle. I live downtown, and yeah, there's a train tracks that run pretty close to here that carry. Amtrak uses them also. Amtrak uses them, but they're also there's a grain refinery. I guess that's what you call it. About 2 blocks from me, that they dump grain onto trains, and they also put it onto boats and stuff. So that's probably what you're hearing. Ah, okay. Yeah, we're having kind of
Seattle day here in
The toot tootin' of the horn.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Johnny Cash song. And he hears the train a coming around the bend. And then, we're having a Seattle day today. Very kind of rain. We just had a big rainstorm last night, which we need. As you know, we're in a drought. How are you?
Oh, yeah.
How are you guys drought-wise?
We're okay. It's not been super. I mean, Seattle is a big lie when we say it rains all the time. It doesn't. It's more gloomy than anything. So we haven't got a whole lot of rain, or we didn't get any snow, maybe a little bit this winter, but it's beautiful today. Beautiful, sunny California day, I guess.
Yay.
we traded.
We're that's fine. We can trade weather.
How does Basil deal with the rain and the drizzle when it happens?
So Basil the boxer will walk in the rain but then he's got to shake every couple of feet.
Sure, yeah.
And then I'm getting all wet. I won't hold an umbrella while we're walking because it's just too much.
It's not cool, dude.
Well, and then I have to hold his leash in one hand, then the bag of what he's dropped off in the other, and it just I look like I'm carrying I'm a waiter at a fancy soiree. No, maybe I don't look like that. I look like a bag man.
Carrying your bumper chute and keeping you both dry.
So I like it though because he gets nice and clean in the rain. His fur becomes the smoothest hairs you've ever felt. And he seems happy. And once I put the towel to him, dry him off, he's like, oh, that was fun. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, we don't have too many rainy days here in California.
No, I know. We don't have them here either. I mean, it's usually just drizzly. That's what I was trying to say was that Seattle's kind of a big liar when we say that it rains all the time. I think it's just to keep Californians from moving here. But it's just like it's gloomy and drizzly. I lived in Portland for 2 years, and it rains there for real.
For real, yeah.
Yeah, golf ball rain. But here it's just more like depressing and gloomy, which I like. And then when it's sunny, it's beautiful and just makes you like appreciate it even more.
Well, let's play a song. Let's play.
Okay.
I've actually heard you do. You sent me once like a really stripped down acoustic version of this. It's fine. It's fine.
Right. When I was recording, I was kind of demoing stuff out, and I did the Westroy sessions last year. I was releasing them on my internet.
Yeah. And you mentioned San Francisco in here, and I wrote this down. You really fleshed this bitch out.
Did I say that?
No, I wrote that down.
Oh, okay.
And then I said, when you get to the San Francisco's All Alone part, I can hear Adam Duritz crying.
Good.
He would hear this and go, "Oh man, this is what I was trying to do."
I live to make Adam Duritz cry.
Me too. I want to punch him. No, I'm kidding. He's great.
Dude, that first Counting Crow Records was my everything for the longest time.
August and everything after.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Still a beautiful record.
Absolutely. So yeah, I love what you've done with this song.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it changed because I started playing with a piano player about a year ago, Bill, and then I asked him to make the record with me, and he just wrote all these beautiful parts, and he played all the. I think a cool thing about this record is that there's no bass guitar on it. It's all keyboard bass, so it's all like big analog, sub-fatty hip-hop bass parts. So he also played. He's just an amazing keyboard player, and he wrote this part for the song that kind of carries it, and moves throughout. And then once the bridge kicks in, it really it drives it a little bit more than I could ever do on my own.
Well, let's listen to it now. It's great. Oh yeah, what was the inspiration for it?
I don't know. This is a tricky one. I think that there's stuff that in every song that I find out later. So much of my stuff is melody driven. I try to write lyrics to match. Like I'll write like a book of lyrics and then I'll never use any because I can't line them up with what I'm writing on guitar or vocally. And trying to write a thematic record, it can be difficult at times. So this is one where I wrote the guitar part and the melody, and then lyrics came along, and I know that the true meaning of it will pop its head out at some point. But then also trying to sprinkle in like the ideas behind, the White Mountains and traveling and moving and changes in life. That's the fun part is, when you're writing about a theme, trying to intersperse that into everything that you're doing.
Awesome. Well, you're such an artiste, Daniel.
Thanks, Mike.
Let's listen to It's Fine, and it is a fine tune. I love it. It's Daniel G. Harmon from his album White Mountains, which comes out tomorrow, and you can find out info at thetroublestarts.bandcamp.com. Any place else?
Or my website, danielgharman.com. You can listen to a song today on there, and you'll be able to, it takes you to all my social media and everything as well.
It's fine on Mike's Daily Podcast. Daniel G. Harmon as we go outside of Cafe Anyway here at the last place on earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Tomorrow, part 2 of my interview with Daniel G. Harmon.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the picture is a photo that Brian Jackson took. Brian, who was here at Cafe Anyway with Kai Alfred Hillig and Pete Jordan a couple weeks back. He took this great photo of Daniel G. Harmon. You can see Daniel there at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Michael Matthew, he looks very handsome, and I would like him to play his guitar for me sometime.
What, like one-on-one? Something like that?
Yes, Michael Matthew.
I think if you paid him handsomely, he would love to do that.
I know another way to pay him.
Creepy. Next show, part 2 of my 4-part interview with Daniel G. Harmon. Plus, we will hear from the wonderful Shelley Shuhart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!